Adam Gordon of Auchindoun, Scottish knight, younger brother of the Earl of Huntly and military leader during the Marian Civil War on behalf of Mary, Queen of Scots in northwest Scotland. In Scottish ballad lore, Adam became known as Edom a Gordon, supporter of Mary, Queen of Scots. Adam was the son of George Gordon, 4th Earl of Huntly, and Elizabeth Keith, daughter of Robert Keith, Master of Marischal. Adam Gordon was taken prisoner at the Battle of Corrickey in 1562, but was restored to royal favour and made Laird of Auchindoun Castle. During the Civil War he fought for the exiled Queen Mary, particularly against the Clan Forbes who followed the cause of James VI of Scotland against his mother. In 1571 Adam defeated the Forbes at the Battle of Tilliangus. In November at Craibston, or Aberdeen Bridge, he defeated the Forbes and a troop of the Regent's soldiers commanded by Captains Chisholm and Wedderburn. Adam then defeated an army of Regent Mar at Brechin. The major historical sources for Adam's role in the conflict are the near-contemporary accounts of John Knox's secretary Richard Bannatyne and the Chronicles, the Diurnal of Occurrence and History of King James VI. Bannatyne said that Adam had 1,000 men at Tilliangus against 300 Forbes on the 17th of October 1571. Adam concealed his superior numbers to draw the Forbes into an ambush. The brother of Lord Forbes, Arthur Forbes, was killed and 12 or 16 Forbes, William Forbes and 16 others were taken prisoner. 22 Gordons were killed, including John Gordon of Buckie, before Craibston. Here his men were involved in a massacre of the Forbes family at Corgarth Castle. According to Bannatyne, 24 people were burned to death in the castle, including Lady Towie. Although a day's truce was agreed, only one escaped by crawling through the heather and straw which the attackers had piled to fire the castle. The Diurnal says that Adam sent his Lieutenant Captain Kerr to Lady Towie to ask her to surrender Carrigill or, quote, when she said no, Adam ordered the place to be burnt, with about 27 casualties, including Lady Towie and her daughters. According to the Diurnal, the Master of Forbes and Captains Chisholm and Wedderburn marched from Cowie to Aberdeen on the 20th of November 1571. Chisholm and Wedderburn, the regent's men, commanded 2 bands of musketeers called Hagbarters. Quote, the whole strength was about 800 men. Adam and Captain Kerr had 900 men in the town. The Forbes came over the bridge of Aberdeen, and fought with Adam's men for an hour. The Forbes retreated, Chisholm and 300 men were killed, and the Master of Forbes and 200 men were captured. 200 Gordons were killed. Bannatyne mentions that some cavalry commanded by Alexander Campbell fought with the Forbes. Bannatyne says that the Forbes and the regent's troops came to Aberdeen because they were short of food. Adam was reluctant to fight because he was outgunned, but saw his chance after the troops wasted their ammunition. The Forbes bowmen or archers fled. Bannatyne wrote they gave Bacchus and did no good. A chronicle written by an Aberdeen man, Walter Cullen, records the casualties at Craibston as about 63 score on each side, and mentions the death of Gwyd Duncan Forbes. The Chronicle History of King James of Sex described Adam's vigilance in Aberdeen as like a valiant chieftain, having always his men in readiness, and adds there were 600 cavalrymen against him. The fleeing Forbes were pursued for 4 miles. According to the history of James VI, there were 300 Forbes casualties against 30 Gordons. Adam's victories against the Forbes were marred by the infamy of the burning of the Lady Towie, exile and death. Adam was included in the peace called the Pacification of Perth of the 23rd of February 1573. He was then allowed to go to France, where he tried to rally support for Queen Mary. Then in 1574, Edom was in touch with the English diplomat in Scotland, Henry Killigrew, and in France, and Francis Walsingham, trying to secure his reconciliation with Regent Morton. At the same time, his brother, the 5th Earl of Huntly, wrote to Elizabeth I of England distancing himself from Edom's activities in France. In September 1574, Morton arrested Alexander Duff, a servant of Edom Gordon who came to Scotland. In the summer of 1575, Edom Gordon returned to Scotland and was imprisoned at Blackness Castle. Then in 1577 released under a bond to live in Galloway. On the 9th of April 1580, Edom Gordon came to Stirling when, according to John Cunningham of Drumcar Castle, there was a scare that James VI might be abducted to Dumbarton Castle and taken to France. He died at Perth on the 27th of October 1580.